What's good, YouTube? AJ Hova checking in once again. And today I'm going to be coming at you with some more sound advice, some very cold game that you're going to be needing on your self-improvement journey. Stay locked in, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below what you think of the dialogue. Now, let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about self-actualization on the self-improvement journey. I'm going to keep it short, same as usual, right? So what is self-actualization? In layman's terms, it's becoming who you think you are in the physical world, right? It's becoming who you really do think you and believe you are up here, out here in the physical. And we're gonna get into the 4 points of self-actualizing before you trying to find money, fame, and status and power and stuff like that, right? Really understanding who you are and being who you're supposed to be. First point of self-actualization. Get it understood. You're not in love with millions. You're not in love with fame. You're not in love with power. You're in love with the kind of person that you would need to be to amass those things. For example, you think of somebody like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. You don't think of the actual millions of dollars that they have. You think of them as people like, damn, I want to be a Bill Gates type of person. I want to be a Jeff Bezos type of person. You like the idea of being someone who knows how to amass millions, not millions itself, right? You're not in love with the fabric, the paper, like the $100 bill. Like, no, you're in love with the kind of person that you need to be to amass that sort of wealth. So get that understood, right? When people are telling you that, no, you're in love with money. No, you're in love with the idea of being someone who knows how to generate money the correct way and invest money the correct way. The second point of self-actualization before trying to get money and status and power on the self-improvement journey is it's important you carve out your best form before you attain millions and stuff like that and power, because a lot of times if it's just dropped on your head, you're not gonna know what to do with it. And you can look at every lottery winner if you don't believe that statement, right? How many lottery winners are still millionaires to this day? Most of them crash right the fuck out, like not even 12 months after they hit for their millions, right? You look them up, they're somewhere off in fucking Florida in a boathouse, like way less well off than they were 6-7 months prior, before, like when they had won the lottery, right? And that's because fools and money are soon parted. My father used to tell me that, and that's in the Bible. Fools and money are soon parted. If you were to get $1 million dropped on your head right now and you don't know what to do with it, you'll fuck yourself up, right? And this is not even just talking about how foolishly you would spend the money. We're talking about taxes that you need to be privy to. We're talking about all sorts of shit that goes into where your money is supposed to be being allocated to. And if you don't believe any of that, right now, $1 million drops in your bank account, how much money do you really have? If your answer is $1 million, you're dead fucking wrong. You have 700,000 if you're in America, 30% going right to Uncle Sam. Moving on to the next point. With self-actualizing before you get your money and power and fame on the self-improvement journey. If you become who you're supposed to, you won't even feel the need to focus on the money and the power and the fame on your self-improvement. You really won't. If you were to become who you really are supposed to be, a lot of times that means you found your craft, you found your calling, and you're working on it, trying to perfect it. And when you snap into that mode of the self-improvement journey, the money is gonna follow you. You're not gonna have to follow it, right? The money's just gonna follow your work. You're not gonna have to work for the money. Like, say an example, so I'm just not getting into the whole YouTube space, right? And people will comment and let me know that my words do shit for them, you know what I mean? Like it moves them, and that's real. And I haven't monetized this yet, but at a certain point, it's not gonna be something where we're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, be fucking around putting goddamn Raid, Shadow Legend ads in my shit, and my videos will never turn into that, right? right hand of God. My videos will never turn into that, right? I'm gonna figure out a way, because if I get that big, I'll be speaking in front of schools and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like doing real work with this, doing real work with my voice. But if you were to actually self-actualize and become who you're supposed to be, you will not give a fuck about money. I promise you. I promise you. Because you know it's gonna follow. If you're doing great work, that's just what happens. That's just what happens. And if you don't believe that, you can look at every one of your favorite athletes, favorite rappers, favorite fucking business moguls. The money does follow good work, great work. And don't ever doubt that. Moving on to the last point of self-actualizing before you try and find the money, power, and fame on your self-improvement journey. Bruh, the self-actualization process will give you every tool you need to flourish and find that money that you're looking for. It really will, because like I said, when you start to self-actualize, that means you would have found your craft. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be a marine biologist, a fucking astronaut, a politician, an accountant, a stockbroker, anything, a construction manager, anything, bro. If you would have really self-actualized, you would have every tool at your disposal that you need to get to where you want to be in life, bro. Now, my dad was in the military, right? And he became a field medic. He was in the field, you know what I'm saying, sewing people up who just got shot, right, in triage units and shit like that. And I thank him all the time for the work he did, putting my family in a position that he did. But it's just not for me. You know what I mean? The military is not for me. I can't see myself selling my time to the government. You know what I mean? I don't even trust the American government like that. But that's not what the video's about. We'll get into it later though. Yeah, but he brought home a Swiss Army knife on one of his tours to Afghanistan. He brought home a Swiss Army knife, and I'll never forget holding that thing, because it made me think, like, fuck, bro, this shit really can't get anything done. It really can't go bottles, it can crack, it can pick locks, anything, bro, for real. And he told me that when you put yourself together, your world's together, bro. And I actually heard a story about this too. It's an old anecdote. So there's a dad and a son, and dad just gets home from work, right? Son's fucking around, you know what I'm saying, trying to play with his pops. His pops is tired. So his pops tears up a magazine, gives it to him, says, put it back together. Nah, 5 minutes later, this 6-year-old has the magazine put back together, and he gives it to his dad, and his mind is blown. He's like, how did you do this? He said, Dad, I just turned it over and I put the man's face together. Now on the other side, it was a globe. And his dad told him, you know what, son, that is right. When the man's together, the world is together. Even a 6-year-old can figure that out. When you really have everything in order here and here, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you shouldn't be able to do. And there's nothing that you shouldn't be looking for that won't get you where you're supposed to be going in life, because you have the tools, you have the devices, you have the mental fortitude. Self-improvement is something that it develops all of those things. And self-actualization is something that happens whenever you get deep enough into your self-improvement journey. And after that, it's just like the money that's gonna follow. Because at that point, you're so locked in on your work, you're so locked in on your craft that that's the only thing that can happen. And I'll leave you with that. When the man is together, the world is together. And you will have every device at your disposal to get done what you need to in life. This is all just some more cold game, some free game that you're gonna be needing on your self-improvement journey. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, on your self-improvement journey, keep your chin up, your chest out, and always keep it pushing.